Hey guys, and welcome to PsyQ. This is an apology video. I'm really sorry. Recently we made a video called Most Anti-Science Presidential Candidates of 2016, and we made the mistake of putting Bernie Sanders on that list, and a number of you have written in the comments and tweeted me and emailed me and got in touch to say why he shouldn't have been on the list, and you guys are right. The one area where I really didn't agree with Bernie Sanders is that he supports labeling of GMOs, and I don't. But the thing about Bernie is that he actually tries to engage in the scientific issues and is way better than every GOP presidential candidate. So he didn't deserve to be on that list. And so to thank you all for writing in and to say I'm sorry, here are a list of 3 GOP candidates that definitely belong on that list, well ahead of Bernie Sanders. Here we go. Number 1 is Ben Carson. Now, he should have been on the list in the first place, regardless of Bernie Sanders. Ben Carson is a young earther who thinks the Earth was made in around 6,000 years, and who doesn't believe in the Big Bang and is very hostile to any sort of science to the contrary. In addition to being a young Earth creationist, Ben Carson is also a climate change denier. So, total science fail for you, Ben Carson. Number 2 is Carly Fiorina. Carly has a wonderful article about her called Why Carly Fiorina Fails on Science and Everything Else. The main premise of the article is that she basically just makes shit up. A number of the things that she's made up are completely anti-science and just like completely anti-logic. One thing that she said is that California destroys lives with environmental regulation. If anything, the lack of environmental regulation is destroying lives in California. Have you not heard of the drought? That would have been preventable or at least treatable if we had better environmental regulations in that state. So claims to have seen footage of babies being kept alive so that doctors could harvest its brains. That's like completely unethical and also never actually happened. She has not been able to produce any footage showing this. She also totally makes up statistics, like saying that 50% of the nation's power is fueled by coal. Incorrect, it's only 1/5 or 20% of the nation's power. So she has a little bit of a tendency to just make numbers and statistics and facts up from thin air. So she gets a science fail. And the last person on my list is Jeb Bush. Now, Jeb gets on this list because he does things like support travel restrictions for people with Ebola, completely unnecessary and against all scientific evidence and recommendations. But Jeb has actually done some good stuff recently. He said that climate change is probably caused by humans. He still doesn't quite have his head on right about vaccinations, but I'm only going to give him a half fail because I feel like Jeb Bush is really trying hard to break out of the Republican mold and try to do what the science suggests. So half a fail to you, Jeb. But of all the Republican candidates, he seems to be the one with his head screwed on the best. So good luck to you, Jeb Bush, and I hope that more people like you will look at the science and make decisions that are based on facts and not based on ideology. Again, I just want to thank all the people that wrote in and pointed out that Bernie Sanders didn't belong on that list. My views on GMOs differ to his, but neither is anti-science. And so thank you to everyone who wrote in, and I hope that you'll write in and correct any other mistakes that we make on this show. We make content for you and we want to make sure we get it right. So thanks, and we'll see you next time.
Hi everyone, I'm Jayde Lovell, resident science nerd on the Young Turks Network. You're watching PsyQ and we know you don't want to miss an episode, so please click the subscribe button down below.